Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to Sports Time HQ. I am your host, Fernando. Joining with me today is my great co-host, Gary. Gary, how you doing?
Doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm living. I'm going on what I think less than an hour of sleep. So we're trucking. We're trooping it through.
Yeah, I had a rough night myself last night, so I came back from class a couple hours ago, and I just got out of bed myself. So I'm ready to talk some football as always.
Jeez, it's you know sleep schedule. It's
It's
it's so
it's rough as a
important.
student, man. It's rough.
Yeah, it's so important, but yeah, it's so hard as a student.
It
You
is.
know, it is what it is. But hey, what do you think about Shador? Sucks.
Wow, getting into that already, huh?
Oh, we're getting right
Um,
into it.
well, I mean, obviously, if you just looked at stats or I guess some parts of the game, you could say that he sucked, and yeah, he definitely did. But I'll tell you what, I think that one throw that he had to Harold Fannin Jr., the 25-yard strike on the last play on the last drive of the game, that's the best throw that I've seen this year from any Browns quarterback. And that's enough for me to actually keep on believing because I mean I've seen Dylan Gabriel and Joe Flacco play this year, and both of them looked absolutely abysmal. So yeah, I'm gonna give Shadur Sanders more than a quarter and a half of play before I, can fully evaluate how he is as a player. Not to mention it's his first team snaps as a backup, and I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, he was a third string or
Yeah,
whatever it was." They don't usually get first team reps. That's not necessarily true. I mean, not to mention he's a rookie, so they get first team snaps all the time, especially backups. I mean, I don't know why everybody's acting like backups don't get first team snaps. Dylan Gabriel was getting first team snaps when he was quarterback 3 going into this year with Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett
that's
being
true.
named the 1 and 2 in training camp. He was getting first team reps. The only person that wasn't was Shadur Sanders. So, I'm not trying to make any excuses for um, the start of his poor play on Sunday. But I want to see him get a full week of reps, and we'll see how that goes.
We will see how that goes. I mean, right now it didn't look that great of a showing. I mean, didn't they put him in when the Browns had a lead?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not so good. Not such a hot start for him. But I'm hoping he at least can finish off the season strong, so I can sell his cards, and then he can choke like a typical Brown.
I mean, nice that you added that we had a lead there because that was not due to our offense whatsoever, even to
I
begin
know
the
it
game.
wasn't. It wasn't.
Because our only touchdown of the day was a defensive touchdown. So
Yeah, that's that that's true, but that's also such a sad fact to mention. Such a
yep.
sad fact. All right, let's get into some news notes around the league. Jamar Chase suspended for a game for spitting on the Steelers' corner, Jalen Ramsey. Uh, he states he is going to appeal it. I must say, I don't know if he will win that one because it just shows that he literally spit and it literally went on to Jalen Ramsey. I don't know. I'm surprised he actually got a 1 game suspension for spitting, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know why he's trying to appeal it because there's literally evidence. I mean, there's angles of him spitting on Jalen Ramsey, but
Yeah.
he's just gonna sit here and say that he didn't do it. So it's kind of funny, but yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I'm again not like I just wanted to shine light because we didn't shine light to the Browns so far. It's funny how this whole time a lot of people, including myself, have been saying that the Patriots really aren't playing anybody, and they go out and play the Bengals without their best player. It's kind of crazy how that works out, but you know,
Is the
um,
Patriots facing the Bengals next week?
yeah, that's that's a,
That's
that's
so
uh
funny.
that's the team that he misses his game against. Yeah,
That's so funny. So T. Higgins for 200 yards and 20 targets.
probably, man.
That's so funny. Um, well, I'll be picking the Patriots to win that game.
Oh yeah.
Jack White, Post Malone, Lil Jon to headline Thanksgiving halftime show. Uh, I don't know who Jack White is.
I have
I'm not
absolutely no idea who Jack White is.
okay. Lil Jon I've heard of. Post Malone obviously, big one. But yeah, I mean good headliners for
I guess. I mean, no one
like
really.
a
I
big.
think.
It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I don't think anybody's really worried about these. Obviously, the Super Bowl halftime show is a different story, which we already talked about. And
Mm,
I mean, I don't know if you like that either. That's another topic for a different day. But
yeah.
yeah, I have no idea who Jack White is, and Post Malone got some good songs back in the day, but I feel like he's a little outdated. That's just my opinion. And Lil Jon, I mean, he's also a little outdated, but he's
A
but
little
yeah,
outdated.
we'll see. We'll see.
Little pun. Uh, Jets. They've benched Justin Fields. Whoop-de-doo again. Tyrod Taylor is set to start against the Ravens. No surprise there. I mean, I think the owner doesn't like Justin Fields. So I guess we're just going to see what happens here with Tyrod Taylor. And go Ravens.
I mean, I don't really know. I mean, Justin Fields is awful one game, then another game he'll
He's good. He's awful.
come
Like
out.
it's
Yeah,
bad.
exactly. I really don't get what's going on with him. But you know, I guess they're just gonna see what they have in Tyrod Taylor, which is also nothing. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Man, Jets are Jets. Can
Oh yeah.
never. Just go. Just that's just how they are. Bye week this week. We have 4 teams on the bye week: Denver, Miami, Los Angeles, the Rams, and then Washington. Some big names. Scary Terry gets finally a week off. That he doesn't have to be listed as an out candidate. Puka, Kyron, Devon A. Chain, Jalen Waddle, Bo Nix, Marvin Mims, Pat Bryant, Cortland Sutton. I don't know if I'm forgetting anyone else that's big, but Matthew Stafford. Can't got to say his name. I think that's just about it. Zach Ertz here and there. But anyways, bye weeks. There's 4 teams, but we're getting towards the end of the bye weeks. I think there's only 2 more weeks of bye weeks, 2 or 3, and then we're done. We're back to full strength for the schedule.
Yeah.
But playoffs is looking pretty crazy.
We're
I mean,
close.
we're right there. We can technically take the top of the AFC with the win because the Broncos are on a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
So at least for 1 week, we can have the best record in the NFL. But Broncos, Patriots, Colts, Steelers currently division winners. Bills, Chargers, Jaguars. Excuse me. Wild card. Outside of the wild card, though, I want to mention in the AFC, the Texans are number 8, and the Chiefs are number 9. Texans have the tiebreaker against the Chiefs at 5-5.
I mean, I think we're just expecting the Chiefs to get in at this point.
Will they though? Are they that? I don't know. They just don't look good at all this year.
I think
They look
they're gonna
washed,
get in.
to
I
be
think they're gonna
honest.
find. I think they're gonna find a way to get in. To the Chiefs. I don't expect the Jaguars to stay here. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't understand how they're 6-4. To be honest with
They
you,
might win the division.
didn't they start 4-0, right?
You mean 0-4?
The Jaguars?
Yeah. Well, they didn't start 0-4, but I don't think they started 4-0 either.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah.
No
So
shot.
I think, yeah, that's why they're here. They're just riding this high. To be honest with you, I don't expect them to be here in a couple weeks, and I don't expect them to win the division either. They're 2 games behind the Colts. I don't see the Colts having that bad of a fall off, but we'll see. I don't really know the Jaguars' remaining schedule. I don't think it's really that hard, but I think we're gonna see the Jets. Or, I'm sorry, the Jets. We're gonna see the Chiefs get back in there.
They started the first 5 games 4-1. They lost to the Bengals by 4.
Okay.
They lost to the Seahawks by 8. They got demolished by the Rams 35-7. And then they lost to the Texans by 7. So
all right, so yeah, 4-1, not 4-0, but pretty much the same thing.
But the three of the 4 losses, I must say, are all by 1 score.
Okay, I guess.
You look at the remaining. All right, you look at the remaining schedule for them: Arizona,
Yeah,
they can,
it's easy. I know.
Tennessee, Jets, Titans
I
again.
think I think they're gonna lose at least one to the Colts. Also, they lose to the Broncos, and I could see them losing to the Cardinals this weekend. And they usually split the Titans, so
I mean, this is interesting because
they're not a
if
good team. I'm sorry. Like it
I
literally
know, but
just
they're only
takes them
two,
getting
but
it literally
they're
takes
only
them
two
getting rid of
wins
their first
away
rounder. It get 2 wins away
from
from
tying with the
what?
Colts as a division leader.
Those game that doesn't matter. I mean, they play them twice, so it's just if they win those games,
Well, yeah,
which I don't think they will.
if they win at least one, if they split and they win the head to head in the division, they win the division.
Yeah, I get what
If
you're
they tie,
saying, but it doesn't matter if the Colts
I'm not
win.
saying that the Jaguars
Like,
should be the division winners, but I mean they have a road where they can win.
yeah, I guess I'm not saying they can't, but I don't think so.
I
I'm
mean, if
saying I
you're
don't
it,
think it'll
but
happen.
if you are asking me about the outlier here, it is the Jaguars. I will agree to that.
Yeah, like they have no business being here. I'll be totally honest with you. Um, I was kind of surprised that they absolutely mollywhopped the Chargers. I thought they're gonna play a competitive game at home. I actually wanted to take their spread. I didn't really bet at all this weekend.
Really.
If I bet, I would have taken their spread, but um, I still expect them to lose.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if the Chiefs there's a way the Chiefs don't make it, and we could see the
Yeah, there
Ravens.
is,
We could see
but
the
like,
Ravens going in. I mean,
yeah, we
the
can see the Ravens too.
Ravens came
I
in.
mean, if if we're gonna see any of these teams drop, I mean, I think it's gonna be the Chargers and the Jags. And
Steelers too.
well, yeah, but the thing is, yeah, they're the division, right? That's another thing, right? Like
They're one game off
if the Ravens come out of the North, how far down do the Steelers fall? Like, do they totally fall out of the playoffs? Like,
at the.
this isn't set in stone at all.
Yeah, because if the Steelers lose this upcoming week, and the Ravens win, the Chiefs win, the Texans win, Jaguars lose, say they're all tied 6-5.
Mhm.
All of them are tied for 6-5. So I mean the last seeding is going to be all open for grabs.
Yeah, and I mean the Chiefs. I'm looking at the Chiefs' schedule right now. It's definitely winnable. I mean, they have the game against the Colts, which that game could go either way. And they play the
Mm.
Cowboys in Dallas. That game could also go either way.
Cowgirls,
I think they beat the Texans, and they play the Chargers at home. That'll be a huge game because I mean,
that's a huge one.
with the Chargers having a bye, technically they're only a game ahead of the Chiefs. And the Chiefs play the Titans, they'll beat them. Broncos at home, they're not going to lose that game, and they finish with the Raiders. So it's like I could easily see them getting in too. Like, let's just not forget how good of a player Patrick Mahomes is.
5-5 though. This is definitely one of the worst starts. I think it was one of the worst starts since 2016. I think. I
I
think
mean,
that's rough.
maybe I know they've finished at 11-6 and got in, so I'm
That's
not going to
true.
rule out the fact that they could do
That's
that
true.
too.
Now looking onto though the NFC side, I also believe it's still widely open, anyone's game.
Mhm.
You look at the division leaders: Eagles, Rams are the new division leader after being the Seahawks. Bears are also the division leader. Buccaneers, and then wild card is Seahawks, Packers, 49ers at 7, which 49ers was at 1 at one point, but they're also 7-4. And looking at the 7th seed. Outside of it, the Lions, currently not in the playoffs. And can't forget the Panthers, who are being a little sneaky in recent weeks. But a thing to make sense of this is the Packers are 6-3-1, who are in. The Lions, who are just out. The Bears, who are somehow division leaders. I mean, they're all really good records, but not every one of those teams is going to get in. Like, we're going to see a winning team not get into the playoffs from the NFC side again.
Yeah, the NFC is obviously like the more dominant conference this year, and as it has
Yeah,
been the last 2 years.
yeah,
I think if I had to guess,
yeah.
um, the Bears being 7-3 is kind of crazy. As much as I like Caleb Williams, and they got a nasty defense. They're not a 7-3 team, in my opinion. I looked at their schedule; it's awful. Like who they've beaten,
Mhm.
so they haven't really beaten anybody either. So to say that they're 7-3, kind of crazy. It seemed like the Bucks sitting at 6-4, kind of crazy to me. I totally expect them to win the division. I know the Panthers are sitting there at 6-5, but Buccaneers are just a better team, and I think when it comes down to it, they'll be able to get in. The Seahawks, everybody was talking about how they were the team. They could possibly go to the Super Bowl this year if Sam Darnold doesn't sell, and I think that game decided it for me. I
Mm.
was always a believer in the Rams over the Seahawks, and that kind of just solidified it for me. The Rams almost sold that game, but
Mhm.
they ended up winning it. And I feel like we're gonna have to see how Sam Darnold does in the playoffs again, because maybe it's just against the Rams, but he threw 4 picks, and
It
albeit
is
they
all
almost won,
Rams
but he threw 4 picks on Sunday. And we all remember how he did in that playoff game this last year with the Vikings
against the
against the
Rams.
Rams.
The
So
Rams own
we
him.
will see. We will see what happens in the playoffs. But as much as I love JSN, I think the Seahawks have, if not the best, a top 3 defense in the league. Uh, I can't trust Sam Darnold.
No, and I mean, I want to give him another chance. It was a really bad game, but he has looked great this season so far. It's just the Rams just owning him every single season, and it's
Mhm.
crazy. Let's see. Any other news notes that I missed since I was sleeping?
No, something we will talk about though on the injury report. I'll bring it up.
Okay. Okay. Going to the injuries real quick now. Joe Burrow monitored this week. He's again been back at practice. He could play, but I wouldn't be surprised if they keep him out one more time, especially with Jamar Chase out as well. CJ Stroud has gone through the concussion protocol. He should be back this week. Just keep an eye out. Jane Daniels, again, he was out this past week. Monitor that with an elbow. He shouldn't be playing, but hey, they don't want to put him on IR, so. But I would expect Marcus Mariota to start again. Jackson Dart should be back this week as well after dealing with that concussion. Aaron Rodgers dealing with a wrist injury, does not need surgery. His status is to be determined, but he is pushing to play somehow in some way, probably because he knows that this is probably his last dance. And I'm all excited for the Will Howard season, to be honest with you.
Hmm. Yeah,
Sorry,
man.
I forgot the one major one. Michael Penix dealing with a knee injury, also on IR now. He is out for the season. Got a significant knee injury. And my cousin, he's back in, Kirk Cousins, to start.
I would love to see Will Howard, but I think the starter has already been named, and it's Mason Rudolph. And I kind of expected that, just
Yeah.
due to the fact that he was the one who came in when Rodgers was done. But a little tweak here, something you probably missed because it was only in the last, I think, hour or so. CJ Stroud is actually already ruled out for this Thursday.
Already.
Yeah, so it's a short week, so it kind of makes sense. But apparently he did not pass concussion protocol, or he was still in it. So he is out for this Thursday, and I believe they play
Wow.
I believe they play the Bills.
Yep.
So that's a situation that I'll talk about later, because one of my players
Ooh.
happens to be on the Texans. But yeah, that's just a situation, obviously, to still monitor. He's not playing this week. Davis Mills has actually been playing pretty solid. So
Damn. Damn. All right. I'm excited. Davis Mills has been playing really good.
mm.
For the running backs now, Marion Hampton dealing with the ankle. Again, could have his 21-day window open. We don't know yet. It hasn't been confirmed. Isaiah Pacheco still dealing with that sprained MCL. Again, something to monitor this week if you have Kareem Hunt on your fantasy leagues. Bucky Irving dealing with that shoulder ankle injury. There's a chance he plays this week, but I also, again, will not be surprised if they roll him out once again this week as well.
Yeah, it's hopefully it's going to be good to have Amari Hampton back soon. They're on a bye this week, so I think they're actually expecting him to play next week. So after this, I really need him to come back. I'm fighting for a playoff spot, and my running backs are down to Charbonnet, Tracy, and David Montgomery this week.
Wow.
So I really need. I have A-Chain, but he's on a bye, so I need Hampton to really come back. I know there are a lot of people out there that do too. Once he, just started to get going, he ended up hurting his ankle. So hopefully he can get back out there.
Let me tell
Obviously
you.
missing. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, obviously, missing Bucky Irving has just been an issue that we've been
Can
talking about
imagine.
for a
Yeah.
while now. I mean,
Such an issue.
he's a second-round pick that you need on the field. So hopefully he can get back.
And never went on IR. Also, could have
That
just
sucks.
been on IR. So he's just been sitting on your bench, rotten there. I have a friend actually who is going into this week with, I believe, 3 running backs on a bye week and 3 wide receivers on a bye week on their team.
Holy.
I was like, well, how did you manage to get that? Because that is
rough.
a lot of players to be on a bye week. Wide receivers wise, Terry McLaurin, again, dealing with that quad injury, but again, he does have that bye week. So again, kind of watch his status this week with the practice. How does he play? Does he not? It'll see if he will lean to playing the following week after the bye. He should be back after the bye, I believe. Drake London, dealing with that back injury. He is out against the Jets. He's already been ruled out. He is considered week to week. Alex on TikTok mentioned if Drake London is a sell right now. I just think you're not going to get much value because you don't really know too much of the status on Drake London because he's week to week. I mean, he could miss the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then he's pretty much useless for the rest of fantasy season. Brian Thomas, again, dealing with that ankle injury. He was out last week, monitored this week during practice. Calvin Ridley came back and then hurt his fibula, and now he's out for the year. Chris Godwin, dealing with the fibula. He's expected to work more in practice this week. So again, that is something to monitor because it's huge if Baker Mayfield gets him back on the field. And then Mr. Marv, again, he should be good to go this week, but again, just something to monitor. And then I'll just throw in the tight ends because it's also Don Kincaid. Again, he was out last week with a hammy. Again, just another thing to monitor as well this week.
I don't think Marv's going to play, unfortunately. He's still dealing with that appendicitis, and I saw that he was obviously out for this past week, and they're actually expecting him to be out for more, they labeled. So I don't know how long that's going to be. Maybe he doesn't miss this week, but I think they're expecting him to. Hopefully he can come back as early as possible, but that's another situation that I will just probably happen to talk about in a little bit. So yeah, just something that I saw.
All right. Gary, you got any more injuries that I didn't mention?
Nah, I don't think so.
All right. Well, let's get into the waiver wire, the one everybody wants to know. Again, on TikTok, you guys are asking a lot of start and sit questions I'm seeing. We have our start sit show that comes up on Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Again, it is only Tuesday. I don't think we should be talking start and sits this early in the week. We may be live later on this week on TikTok for some pack breaks, box breaks, NFL box breaks, which I haven't opened yet, Gary. But yeah, we'll talk start and sits during that time as well if you guys want. All right, let's dive into the waivers. My back-to-back week waiver wire quarterback is Mr. Jacoby Brissett himself. Baller. He has had another 19-plus point week. Not only that, he eclipsed 23 points. He's going against Jacksonville, who I mentioned. San Fran and Jacksonville was going to be the favorable matchups. He is currently the quarterback 4 in the span of the past games that he has played. He's currently ranked as a QB4. And in that span, he's averaging about 22.5 points a game. He's had a top 12 quarterback finish as a starter with Kyler Murray out. The matchups are very favorable. Jacksonville gives up the 5th most points to quarterbacks. I'm expecting 20-plus points again from him. And he's probably going to throw another, 500 attempts, passing attempts.
Yeah, that was a crazy air attack this past weekend. He's been playing pretty good for the most part. Kind of surprised, although not really, because I feel like over the last couple of years, he's been one of the better, bridge quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks that this league has seen. So, I guess it doesn't totally amaze me that he's doing pretty good with Arizona. But one thing I will say is, yeah, maybe Arizona really does have to start looking into getting rid of Kyler Murray because, the team is still
Oh,
losing. The team is still losing, but I think it's no doubt that the offense looks better with Jacoby Brissett.
oh,
And
100%.
we saw that with, Marvin Harrison when he was playing. Obviously, he's out now, but he actually produced, and it wasn't, him having 4 drops a game and passes flying over his head like when he plays with Kyler. Obviously, the McBride was still wicked involved in this offense, but we saw
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, who also, at times is Kyler's favorite target for some reason. He went off. So that again, I'll talk about him a little bit later.
Don't forget
But yeah,
about Light the Torch Dorch.
well, I mean, I think he's kind of like the forgotten man in that offense, at least to
He
me.
is,
But
sadly.
still, definitely a solid option. But yeah, as a whole, this offense just looks much better with Jacoby Brissett at QB. So we will see if they look into getting rid of Kyler Murray. But in all honesty, I think they should.
It's sad because I've had so much hope for him, and he's had
Yeah, I
good
did too.
weeks. He's had good weeks, and he's had good seasons, but it just has not. It just has not looked good. Has not
Yeah.
looked good this year in particular. But yeah, Brissett has kind of shown that he has turned the offense slightly better, not to a winning record, but hey, I mean, that again questions the fact what you said, Gary. I mean, is Kyler Murray going to be gone after this year?
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm cleaning my camera because this camera's looking a little dusty, but now it's looking a little purty. Who's your pick, Gary?
My pick is Mr. Brock Purdy, Mr.
Ooh.
Mr. Irrelevant, as they say in the end of the draft. He's been, really solid this year. He's only played 3 games, but every game has been 19 plus points. He's been very consistent, I guess, in the 3 games that he's played. Would love to see him get on the field. I think this time he's, fully healthy. I think they've given him the green light to play
After so
now.
many weeks, I mean, I
Right.
would hope you're healthy.
Exactly. And not to mention, like, they're making a playoff push somehow after not having him and everybody else for the entire year. They're still sitting at 7-4 or whatever it is. So 7-3, 7-4. So they need him to,
Yep.
really get back and lock in, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And like I said, in the time that he's played, he's been good. 19 points every single game that he's played. So I think if he's out there, it's not a lot of leagues, only 37% of leagues that he's available in. But one of the leagues that I'm in, he was available and I picked him up. I think that you need to pick him up because obviously we know what he can do when he's fully healthy.
Yeah, I'm glad you ended up taking my number 5 pick because he is a really good quarterback to snag off the waivers. Which, again, he was probably dropped in a lot of leagues after consistently being out and out and out.
Understandably so.
Yeah, understandably so. But the fact that he is now putting up the points again, I mean, 41 points against the Cardinals. Again, the Cardinals don't have the greatest defense, but still. He goes on to face the Panthers, the Browns, the Titans, the Colts, the Bears, the Seahawks. I mean, the Seahawks, we already know he put up 19 plus in week 1. So he can do that again. The Colts, it's going to be a high-scoring affair. The Bears, probably going to be another high-scoring affair. The Niners, the Browns, and the Panthers, those should all be blowouts just like the Cardinals. No offense to your Browns, but it should be all blowouts. I mean, sky's the limit for Purdy. He could end up being a season league winner from the waivers if you go and pick him up. If you really
It's
need
possible. And to be honest with you, I actually might be at that game when they play in Cleveland. So if I am, make sure you start Purdy because I've been only to 2 Browns games in my life, but currently the opponents are outscoring the Browns, I think, I want to say 67-10 when I am
You've seen
at
only
their
10 points
games.
by your Brownies.
Oh, only 10 points. Yeah, I watched the Browns versus the Pats in 21 in 2021 season, and we lost, I think it was 40 You know, I think it was 40-7 we lost. And not to mention we scored first. So we were up 7-0, and then I had to endure 40 straight points in New England, not I was
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
enemy territory. So yeah, I saw that, and then I went to
God.
the game last year when they played the Dolphins. Pouring rain, huge winds. It was probably like 35 degrees, and we lost 20-3. So
That's
yeah,
brutal.
I
Absolutely
have
brutal.
watched my team score 10 points, and none of those have actually been on my side of the field. So in reality, I really haven't seen them score at all on my side of the field when I'm there.
That's
So
so sad. That's so sad.
it's life of a Browns
Well,
fan.
hopefully it's a little bit better of a game for you this time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully. Jeffrey on TikTok also appreciate the heart me over there. Jacoby Brissett, Brock Purdy, our waiver wire quarterbacks. Now, there was a big question in the chat by Colin. He says, I need a running back off the waivers for Rachaad White. Rachaad White has not been the guy. And Gary, I'm going to take this as well because I didn't realize that he mentioned White. But my waiver wire guy is actually Sean Tucker, his teammate. 34 points. I mean, he was running back 2 this week. He was only 1 point shy from Christian McCaffrey, who finished as the RB1 this week. Only 29% owned in your leagues. It kind of looks like he's becoming the lead back against Rachaad White, which is sad to see because Rachaad White, I do like it as a running back. But, I mean, he had all the handoffs just about. 19 attempts, 106 yards, got into the end zone twice. And then not only that, in the receiving game, he caught both his targets, 434 yards and a score. I mean, head coach Todd Bowles already mentioned that it's hard to say if Tucker will see more playing time even when Bucky comes back. So I think it's safe to say by that statement, he will play a little role when Bucky comes back. Now, how much of a role with Rachaad White as well there, I don't know. But regardless, even as long as Bucky is out, Sean Tucker is the guy moving forward there on that team. Again, sad to say because I like Rachaad White. But when Irving does come back, when Bucky comes back, I think Sean Tucker's a big stash for running back because we don't know. Bucky could still go down and he might not be 100% healthy. I also think Todd Bowles is going to go with the hot hand between Sean Tucker and Rachaad White when Bucky comes back, whoever's the RB2 that week.
Yeah, I watched this guy play a little bit when he was at Syracuse because that's where I thought I was going. So I started to become, for college, I should say. So I started to become a little bit comfortable with the team, and that was he was their best player back when 2022, I think it was. I was really starting to watch them, and he was a baller, man. He was great. But I want to say that this week was a little bit of an anomaly. I mean, obviously you didn't see him go for 34 like any other week. But what I'm really trying to say is don't expect him to put up 30 plus again,
No.
probably. But yeah, he might be a deep stash. This is kind of what I'm talking about though, with like the Buccaneers just seem to cycle running backs like they're Coke cans. I don't really get what's going on here. You kind of expected Rachaad White to be the guy because he's been with the team for years and was the backup like with Bucky Irving. Now that Bucky Irving's out, it's roundly Sean Tucker. So I feel like that's a little bit of a gray area, but obviously he went off this past weekend. So if he does it again, who knows? I thought it was funny that he did go off because in our in our start or sit show, I think I said to sit Sean Tucker, and then right after that, I was like, watch, he's going to go for like 2 touchdowns today. Little did I know he's going to go for 3, but kind of crazy how that happens to work out.
Christian Watson was also one of our sits, and he
Yes.
was a big breakout. I remember someone asked him.
Unbelievable touchdown catch in the back of the end zone towards the end of the game.
Yeah. That is also what helped him become a solid start for the week. That one play. But yeah, Sean Tucker, good one to snag up off the waivers. But Gary, who is the sidekick going on your side?
Well, I think this guy, in my opinion, is the top running back that you should probably try to grab. I have Emmanuel Wilson. I think he's, well, obviously in in Green Bay, he's the clear number one with Jacobs missing time. He's going to miss this week, and it wouldn't surprise me if he needs to miss more after this. He's got a knee contusion that doesn't,
I
usually
forgot to
just clear
mention
up
that.
in a week. Yeah, so that doesn't just usually clear up in a week. So he's going to be the RB1 moving forward, and he's the guy that actually got carries with Jacobs playing still. So I think he's by far the RB1. Then is Marshawn Lloyd even on the team anymore? Who's the next
I think he
RB?
still is.
So I
I think
don't
he
even
still
know.
is, but
But that's my point. He actually gets game time carries, and he's the only guy in the backfield now. He scored a touchdown. Sorry, go ahead.
Marshawn Lloyd is on IR, and Chris Brooks is
Right. Okay.
number 3 string.
So Chris Brooks, exactly, is the backup. So he has got no, competition for touches, in my opinion, in the
What
backfield.
do you mean? Isn't Brooks like MVP caliber running back?
Right, exactly. Well, maybe he is, but
Maybe if it was Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah, right. Right after Jacobs was ruled out, Emmanuel Wilson scored a touchdown, and I was looking at some of his numbers. He's actually been pretty efficient this season on his touches. I think he has like a 4.5 yard per rush, I think, which is pretty damn good.
That's really good.
I think he's one of, if not the top guy, one of the top guys that you can get at the RB position this week.
Yeah, I don't hate it, especially the concern with Jacobs being possibly out moving forward. Like you said, Wilson's the only other guy on that team. I mean, they'll probably get someone either off their practice squad or from free agency just to kind of sign and get some more depth there. But Wilson is the guy moving forward. Again, you mentioned he scored a touchdown. He can run. We've seen him run before with Jacobs missing time or coming in to play. And you mentioned the yards per carry. That's also really good by a running back. So if he can keep that stat up, he should see more playing time, and he should be the clear-cut RB1 there with no competition with Jacobs gone. So I like it. Emmanuel Wilson and Mr. Sean Tucker himself as the waiver wire running backs. Let's go into the waiver wire wide receivers. Gary, we'll start with you.
So yeah, kind of hinted that I was going to talk about this guy earlier on in the show. I went with Michael Wilson. He's out there in over 50% of leagues, so probably out there in your league. And he's going to get picked up just purely based off what he did this week, 33.5 points. Yeah, we were talking about McBride and the passing attack from Jacoby Brissett. Most of that went to Michael Wilson. He scored over 30-plus points. That was the first game without Marvin Harrison Jr. And like I said, I think they're expecting him to miss at least one more game. So he could be in store for another 20-plus point week. And in my opinion, I know you mentioned Greg Dortch, but outside of Trey McBride with Marvin Harrison Jr. out,
Wilson's
I really don't think there's anybody else Brissett can really rely on. So,
yeah, I can't. I mean, I want to have Mr. Greg Dortch light the torch up, but unfortunately, I do think Wilson is the wide receiver one there. McBride getting so much targets. I'm all in for McBride. I might try and trade for him in Dynasty, to be honest with you. He's looking crazy good.
You have to give up a lot, but he's stuck.
Yeah, I know. I have Sam Laporta. I can trade Sam Laporta maybe like a second round pick. I don't think you should trade a first for tight end, to be honest with you. He depends. Is he quarterback proof? Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
I think for him, you can.
Okay. Even with Sam Laporta in the mix.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I mean, Sam Laporta's kind of been a disappointment this year.
Oh, that's true. But besides that, but I like Wilson. I do like Wilson as a player. I like to see him hit 30 points again. I don't know if he will. But again, I don't want to rule anything out because of the fact that he is also playing with Brissett, who throws for 100 attempts. So P Dog in the chat over there on TikTok. I traded Purdy for Troy Franklin. I have Dart too. It's not bad. I think that's solid. We just mentioned how Purdy was our waiver wire out of the week. So if you traded Purdy for Franklin, by all means, you won that one.
Maybe.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I think so.
I guess. I know Franklin's kind of been, playing good recently, but I mean, you have Dart, so it's not like he's going to play, but I think you could.
Sorry, I read that wrong. I read he got Purdy and traded away Troy Franklin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes okay. Well, P Dog, I might have to question your trade.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, I don't know.
No,
Um,
I mean, hopefully Trey Franklin turns out to be better, but I think you did sell Purdy a little too early, and I think you could have got a little bit better option for a wide receiver.
yeah, I mean, you have Dart, so it's like he's not gonna play.
Yeah.
Obviously, when Dart's healthy, Purdy's not gonna play, but you definitely could have gotten more. I think. I know. Like randomly, people are like starting to like Franklin just because he's had a couple like solid games here and there, but uh, I don't know. I think he plays on probably the most inconsistent offense in the league. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So I don't. I'll be honest with you. I never see him as a start. I can never get myself to start him. I don't have him in any leagues. No. Franklin.
Oh, Franklin. Okay, yeah.
So
QB don't have value in my league. That's why I did it. Yeah, I mean, in a one quarterback league, it's hard to trade quarterbacks because of the fact that you should never really see it all that much.
understandable.
Gary, you mentioned Michael Wilson, right, as your waiver wire out of the week for wide receiver.
Yeah.
I forgot, but we did pull a Michael Wilson last week on the
Was I
perfect
there for
parallel. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I have a stack of cards near
me
me that I haven't seen. I'll show the chat too. Michael Wilson, our waiver wire out of the week. I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think I saw
Maybe
it.
not. Maybe not. Maybe it was. I think I pulled it on TikTok, just like a video. I didn't actually stream it.
Mm-hmm.
Melvin in the chat on YouTube. Hi guys. Melvin, hola, ¿cómo estás hoy? He is Puerto Riqueño, so you know. But I'll go into my wide receiver, and that is Mr. Trey Tucker himself. I mean, Melvin, bien. Trey Tucker, obviously, he's finally got that lead role after Jacoby Myers got traded. He is 67% owned, so you don't see him available in many leagues. Only 33% actually will you see him available. Now, he didn't have the nice score of 14.7 points. It's not the greatest, but it is his first touchdown since week 3. He managed to get a lot of targets. 8 targets, that's pretty good. That's what you want to see. He only caught 4 of them, which kind of sucks. But he is wide receiver 28 this year so far. We don't want to also forget he was wide receiver 3 at one point in the season. He got his highs there. He is going against Cleveland this week, which I will mention is a tougher matchup. But he is the only person behind Brock Bowers who is going to be there for the receiving side. Sure, you can mention Tyler Lockett. He is getting some targets in there too. But Trey Tucker's number 1 right there. I wouldn't start him more than a flex play this week. I think he can be a solid flex play. He should get you double-digit points. He's a guy right now that I can see getting you as low as maybe 10, 12 points as the floor, but also a guy that can get you 30 points as a ceiling.
Yeah, the one thing that our defense actually struggles with is the home run plays every now and then. We don't give up a lot, but they've been starting to pop up just a little bit more weekly, and I serves the most threat in terms of that category for the home run plays. And I'm not gonna say I think he's gonna get one this weekend, but there's a possibility for one. That's good enough for me. I think he'll give you good flex numbers, and I totally agree with you. I don't think he's anything more than a flex play, and that's not necessarily a desperate flex play, but not necessarily a high confidence flex play either.
Exactly.
But yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I think he can give you 10 to 15 points, but he's got the ability to go for higher than that. So I don't disagree with you at all on that. Obviously, we've mentioned him like 4 or 5 times now this week or this season on these shows.
Every single week.
So it's hopefully one of these weeks he can end up proving to be a good waiver wire pickup.
Mind you, he was over 70% owned at one point. And then
and he's pretty much almost there now. So
he will definitely get there after this week, I think. Trey Tucker, Michael Wilson, our waiver wire ads of the week. Lux on YouTube asking, my playoffs start week 14. I already clinched at 8-3. Should I trade away CMC? Gary, your reaction is the same reaction I have. Lux, if you clinch playoffs, I don't think you should trade away CMC because that is one of your leading calibers that got you clinching that playoff spot. unless you're getting an absolute haul that will somehow in some way help your team, I think you need to just keep him and ride him out until the end, because he is going to help lead your team to victory. That's my take. I think Gary has also lost connection. I think his Wi-Fi has got a little stinker there. Yeah, the reason is because you have a bye week on 14. He has a bye week on 14. Yeah, I do understand that. I do understand in that way. I want to see what you're getting from him, to be honest with you, because I just don't see him being. I think it's going to hurt your team so much more if you trade him away.
Sorry, I guess my Wi-Fi just randomly crashed for no reason.
Don't worry, I did the play-by-play saying that your Wi-Fi crashed.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, just to talk about that. I don't know why you would get rid of CMC, man. I mean,
Well,
you
he
must
just
be
gave
getting...
he just gave the reason. He just gave the reason. He said he also wants to go and try and get Bijan and maybe another solid receiver.
I mean, if you can get Bijan and like a good wide receiver too, but like obviously that's asking a lot for like the guy that has Bijan, but I still wouldn't. CMC is what, like the RB2, and is, honestly probably like the MVP, like in terms of usage rate. Like I don't know his numbers off the top of my head, but if I had to guess, he's probably one of the top guys, if not the top guy in usage rate percentage this year, because I mean, he doesn't run for a lot of yards, but he is a running back getting like 10 targets a game, which is almost unheard of. So I am not at all trading CMC, especially, due to the fact that he's probably the guy that got me to 8-3. So that's just how I feel. But if you can get like Bijan and a good wide receiver too, maybe I would think about it. But I'm probably not doing it.
Lux, definitely send me DM on. I don't think you can DM on YouTube, but DM on social media. Sports Time at Sports Time HQ. Maybe any possible trades that you might have with it, and Gary and I can also let you know as well. I think one of the biggest problems is the fact that your league playoffs start week 14.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. What? That's so crazy.
It's such a problem.
Oh my God. Okay, now I get it. I get it kind of. Yeah, that sucks, man. That really does suck. I guess then I would try to trade for Bijan and a good receiver. I guess that makes sense. At first I thought you were just saying that he has a bye week 14, so like he's not gonna play. So like I'm gonna trade him. I was like, this guy's first time playing fantasy. But wow. Okay, I've never heard of a league starting playoffs before week 15. I'll be honest with you.
Let me ask you this, because P Dog also on TikTok asked about our thoughts about Travion. Would you trade CMC for, say, Travion and like a wide receiver 1?
It would depend who it is, but yeah, probably.
Say, for instance, like a Puka Nacua, or I don't know, give me another solid wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I'd probably do that.
Yeah, I think that's not bad. I mean, the team's going to look at that and be like, oh, I'm getting CMC. I'm going to go for it. You just don't let them know that they can't play him in the first week of the playoffs. Just don't let them know that, Lux.
Yeah, that's actually wild. I didn't know that some league started it before week 15. I've never been in a league that does that, but you also have to hope that if you were to get something like Travion Henderson, that they actually don't shy away from using him once Ramondre Stevenson comes back, because I don't know, they definitely could do that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go on to the tight ends, and I basically let me just say to everyone, no surprises here. It's Juwan Johnson and Dalton Schultz.
Yeah.
I mean, do we have to say any more?
The guys that have been here for the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's the third straight week we've had him. Quick little rundown. Juwan Johnson needs to be owned in every league. 58% owned. He had a bye week this past week. He actually dropped by 3%. But he's been a tight end. He's been a tight end 3 past couple of weeks. He also had 4 straight weeks in double-digit points, back-to-back weeks with touchdowns. I mean, this guy should be a starter in each and every week. I'm starting him over Hunter Henry, Zach Ertz, and a lot of other big name players.
Yeah.
And you can run with your guy right away because we know we like both of ours.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like both these guys. If you didn't take Juwan Johnson or you took Schultz, I would have taken Juwan Johnson. So, yeah, it doesn't really matter. I have both these guys in I think 3 of my leagues. Like these are like my tight ends in my leagues. So, it's good that they're here. But yeah, I think Dalton Schultz is going to continue to be my tight end waiver wire as long as he's under 70% owned and he's putting up double digits, which again he did this week. 11 points again. That's 5 double-digit games out of his last 6 games total. So, he's been playing a lot better. 4 of his last 5 games, he's had 8+ targets. The opportunities are there. I mean, I would just love to see him like do this and get in the end zone again because then that would take him to like tight end 1 numbers, which he's already like on the cusp of pretty much every week recently. So, but as for the quarterback situation, Davis Mills has been playing really solid, surprisingly, and debatably has been better than Stroud, at least in terms of targeting Schultz and Collins. So Stroud missing this Thursday, I think, helps Schultz stop.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better. I think these are 2 solid guys and 2 guys that should easily be on teams.
Yeah.
I do want to quickly note Travion Henderson's also on a bye week 14.
You gotta be kidding.
I'll just say out of all the league leaders right now in running backs, I would not trade CMC away for any player who has scored less than 200 fantasy points.
Yeah. I mean,
Devon Achane, Bijan, Jahmyr Gibbs, those are all guys that need to be included at least in that package.
I'm starting to like get what he was saying though, and like wondering if he should. That's a smart move now that I think about it. Try to find someone that's not, I guess, aware that he's going to be out this next week or week 14, whatever, which is again for some reason the first week of your fantasy playoffs. But yeah, good luck on that, man.
Let us know though. Let us know. I'm curious. All right, let's get into it. Thursday Night Football predictions. It's time to rock. Buffalo Bills taking on the Houston Texans. Over under set to the same as last week, 43.5. Gary, congratulations. You won the under. Almost had a perfect score, actually. Lost by a field goal on that one. But unfortunately, did not hit the over for me. So I'm back down to being 14-8. You're at 18-4. Buffalo, Houston. You got Houston, right? Upset?
I don't. I want to. I don't really think Buffalo is that good this year, and that doesn't take a scientist to know because they got blown out, I should say, to the Dolphins. Obviously, that's a rivalry game, or not a rivalry game, but interdivision game. So things like that happen relatively more frequent than you might expect. But they're really just not on one this year, like we normally expect Buffalo to be. But I still think that they're going to take it over the Houston Texans. I'm going to say there's a low-scoring affair. I'm going to say Buffalo wins it 23-17.
Ooh, that goes up and hits the under, correct?
Correct.
My goodness. Well, I will be going against you because of the fact that I think Davis Mills has shown he can throw a ball, and he's been doing actually pretty damn good. Unfortunately, he will come up short against Buffalo, but I am taking the over 27-21. This will hopefully get me back into within 3, which we can only pray that I do because the season's coming down to the wire. And we keep having the same freaking things.
You don't think it would be smart to listen to what my over-under is? Because, I mean, just look at the disparity in what our records are.
Yeah, you're 9-2 on the record, 9-2 over unders. I'm 9-2 on the record too. We'll keep that also known.
And
maybe 5-6 on the over unders.
There it is.
There it is. Whatever. But I think a Bill should easily win this game though. Easily is the key word, but they probably won't. It'll actually be a lot closer than it should. Bills 27-21, taking the over is myself, and Gary taking the under 23-17 for the Bills. That's going to do it for this week's show. Again, If you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that follow button, the like button, the subscribe button, any damn button that you got that you can help and support us. Again, we are here every single week on Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for our Waiver Wire shows, and also on Sundays at 9 a.m. Eastern for our Starts and Sits show. We should be back sometime this week as well on TikTok to open some mosaic boxes and some Don Russ, going for downtowns, and some stained glass. So some fun ones to open up and maybe get some big hits. Who knows? But again, go check us out on TikTok. That is where we go live, and also Whatnot at SportsTimeHQ as well. And of course, on every social media at SportsTimeHQ. I was joined by my great co-host Gary. Go follow him all over social media at SportsTime, at GDPicks, and myself at SportsTimeHQ. Again, thank you all for watching here on YouTube and Facebook and every other platform that you guys are watching too as well. And we'll see you guys on Sunday.